Hi, I'm Aric, and I am sitting here with Beth and Jeff Furton. They are the founders of Daily Rise here in Ogden. Thanks for sitting down and chatting a little bit.
Yeah, thanks for having us, man. It's great to be here in the Goal Foundation building.
Well, and the Goal people, the Goal gals and Aric, tell me Daily Rise and the Furtons are all things goal. And I must say, with volunteering, helping out, it's really hard to go anywhere in the community without seeing Daily Rise or either one of you. But even with the winter racing circuit, one of the things I like most is you guys are there, set up, you got the burritos, got the coffee, and then you also do all the running too. So that's pretty awesome.
Way awesome, and what's really cool is this is the first year that Jeff's kind of gotten to run with us. So I've been running the winter race circuit and one of the races within the marathon for the last 10 plus years.
Wow.
So it's been really fun to have a running partner now too. So now he doesn't just stand at the finish line with the girls being so little. Now he can actually jump in the race and kind of be a part of that portion too, which is awesome. It's awesome to run with people. It's awesome to have the aid stations. Kind of keeps you moving and grooving.
And it's also, you've got a lot of your staff. I mean, they're the same way though. I mean, that's one thing, and I've had the pleasure of sitting down and listening to you speak about your staff and how you do things at Daily Rise, but your staff's out there running. They're also getting out, living, being a part of the community. And that's got to be pretty important for you both as well, right?
Absolutely. I mean, honestly, our schedule and our crew are two of the things that kind of make Daily Rise different. But everybody has some passion, and for them to be able to hold a job and be able to still be part of the community and do what they love, you just, you see the positive energy. It's kind of what makes it.
And even for the guys that don't have, or gals that don't have that passion for running, but have an opportunity to do it and come out and experience it, right, and have so much fun. Now, I mean, you're creating a passion, right, that wasn't there before. I mean, they were great people, high energy, fun, and now, they're becoming runners and outdoor activists, so.
Well, and I sit down with a lot of runners here where you're sitting and doing these interviews, and one of the things that always comes, how did you get into running? So now they could be the story. How'd you get into running? Well, I was working, slinging some coffee at this event. I put on a pair of shoes, and now I'm this passionate runner, right?
Exactly.
At 180 level, so it's giving them that. So, but how did you both, or what was the time frame look like, and how did you get involved with the Goal Foundation?
Oh, man.
The Goal Foundation, it's probably 15 years ago or so.
Yeah.
And I think it was Kim Bouchard that reached out to us and said, hey, we've got this Ogden Marathon going on. We'd love to have you down there. We don't have any coffee, and I don't know if you have means to do it or whatnot. And we didn't have means to be able to brew coffee down there.
6 months.
So we were brewing coffee at the shop and just running it down. And so then the next year it just evolved, we just kind of kept building it up. And it's amazing to watch the marathon grow, right? From the small expo to where it is now, and the small marathon to how it is now, and so we're just feeling good just to be a part of it, and keep everybody caffeinated.
Well, and one of the things you have is caffeinate and recreate, and I've told you guys this so many times before. It's literally one of my favorite things. And now that I've figured out the order they go in, I'm even more excited. So, but they do. I mean, the outdoor community we live in, especially what you guys offer to this community, and then the Goal Foundation kind of being such a centerpiece for our community. Because again, they don't just do the marathon, which a lot of people think they put on the marathon or the winter racing circuit.
So much more.
And Jeff, you've been on the board. You're kind of on your second go round. Tell us a little bit more about what the Goal Foundation does in the community.
It supports a ton of events, right? And I think that's kind of the backbone to the Goal Foundation is the volunteer community. I'm most drawn to and is the Kids K program, right? Or the Young Runners program. And, I've been involved with it. I've helped out with it. But to me, it's the most rewarding program that the Goal Foundation puts on, because a lot of the kids, it doesn't matter, if you're affluent or not affluent, if you're active, if you're not active. These kids just get into it, and you can just watch them light up, man, right? I mean, it's that sense of accomplishment and doing things, and those high fives that to me are priceless.
Well, and one of the things that I found out by doing these interviews is this year it's going to be a little different because everything is virtual. Mm-hmm. They've got a great partner with the kids race, there's going to be over almost 2,600 kids that are comped free
So
that get
cool.
to participate in a run in their area, with their school. I mean, I just got goosebumps by saying that because, I mean, as you mentioned earlier with your crew at these races, you never know how children are affected, right? And you never know if you just provide that one avenue for them to get a hobby, right? Or something they're passionate about that can help them in so many ways, mentally and having that hobby and getting out of the thing. So, when you talk about the Goal Foundation doing that, for me, I'm with you. I think that's one of the more important things they do because the children in this community are really the future of what we're doing. And by providing those things, and Jeff, when you talk about it, you can see it in your eyes and the way you talk, kind of the passion about it. Not everybody can be a part of that. So for you to be a part of that and the Goal Foundation, I think that's incredible to give that to kids. Again, you never know where that's going to light, I guess, right? What are some other things? I mean, you've been on the board a few times. Talk maybe a little bit about the growth of the Goal Foundation from when you first got on to where it is now. What are your thoughts on that?
Oh, when I first joined on, it was a full-on working board, right? We had volunteers, but the board members put in more time than anybody. And I mean, marathon day, you were there at the start, and you were there at the cleanup, and it was a 20-hour day or whatever. So to be able to turn that around now and have such a support crew is huge. Besides that, I mean, it's just a great group of people. It was that way when I first started, and it's still that way now. I mean, everybody is so passionate about Ogden. Everybody wants to do good, and put that many good people together, and great things happen.
Well, and I think that's a great point because a lot of the times when I talk to people about the race itself, being a runner and hearing runners talk, they're usually like, oh my gosh, the Goal Foundation, oh my gosh, the volunteers, oh my gosh, the community. And usually it's like the fourth or fifth down the list. And the course is good. You know what I mean? It's like the one thing that the runner's there for is usually like near the end. And the course is gorgeous. It's beautiful. But I think, maybe Beth, you can talk about this a little bit, the community. Right? Not just the Goal Foundation, but the community at whole, how they come together. And you both have been such a huge part of the community itself. Talk about the community for people that aren't familiar with what this group does here.
Oh man, well I think too, with the community, there's so many things you can do. And like what we find awesome, regardless what we're doing on a day-to-day basis, is that we can bring the energy, we can bring the positivity, and you see that in so many facets that Goal is a part of. From just putting shoes on kids' feet, it allows people that might not, hike up a mountain realize like the beauty of where you live. And I think part of what Goal does too is it really helps you appreciate that you are so spoiled living in Ogden. I mean, people move away and they come back, but you just want to see that little bit of light that people are enjoying their backyard because it's here. Whether you're, on the river or hiking or running or even just taking a walk. And I think that way Goal touches everybody because it just makes them kind of open their eyes and maybe get to a part of Ogden they haven't seen yet, There's been so many cool projects going on, but just walking down to the, river and just looking at all the development there. I mean, it's just really cool. And I think whatever we try to do, we just try to bring the energy and the awareness to everybody. But it changes people's perspective.
One of the benefits of me being able to do this, which I feel fortunate to talk to people, is we had somebody on, sitting down talking. We were talking about the community. We were talking about Ogden, and the word gritty came out. They were like, you know what? If someone wanted to do something, Ogden would say, we'll do it. And they would do it better than anybody, even if they had no idea what they were doing. And that was kind of the Ogden Marathon. Had former Mayor Matthew Godfrey. He wanted this marathon to be for economic growth, bring people in town, fill the hotels, things like that. And they had no clue what they were getting into. Carolyn Brierly was like, oh yeah, I didn't think we'd even get the permit, so I didn't worry about it, right? But the great story was community. If Ogden is given something, a challenge, a task, it's like, okay, we're going to get it done.
All hands on deck.
Yeah, all hands on deck. And the Goal Foundation, one of the things we haven't discussed in any of these is, when the the homes were built last year, or remodeled.
Oh, man,
You know, how the
extreme.
community came together for that.
Mm-hmm.
Were you both a part of that?
Actually, we were, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. We got to deliver some coffee on set and, pump people up.
And so what was
Yeah.
that like, just seeing a community come together in a different fashion through the Goal Foundation? Maybe it wasn't an event, but it was like, helping people and live dreams.
It felt a lot like the Goal Foundation, right? I mean, it really did. I mean, it was just it was a whole community and a bunch of good people coming together to do, just greater good, right? And that was a huge project. So what was cool about that is that you saw the same faces that you normally would, plus 10 times that, right? So everybody got to get in, everybody got to experience it, and that stuff's contagious, man. So it's fun to see.
Well, and like I said, you both are at the heart of what the community is. What you do. You're always there. You're always. How do we participate? How do we help? What can we do in return? But do you also feel like that's just essentially how this community is in general?
Oh, 100%. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, we wouldn't know any different.
Yeah. Well, and so we talk about it with the marathon and the volunteers, but it's kind of that trickle down effect, like you mentioned. It's the same people that come out. We've talked about families having generational help. Like the kids are growing up through the Goal and Foundation and through the marathon and helping aid stations. And I think that's just that next level of uniqueness for what the Goal offers, right? It's very much who we are as a community. And it's another organization that if there's something that needs to be done, they're the first ones there. Like, how can we help out? So again, maybe for you guys, when you hear the word Goal Foundation, when you hear about that, I mean, what comes to mind? Like the first thing that comes to mind when you think of Goal Foundation?
Oh, man.
Get out and live.
Kids. I'm excited for our kids to be old enough to participate in the Goal camps this summer. I mean, we're excited about that. I mean, that's such amazing opportunities to, do things that maybe they don't do through the school year, or get, some different counselors and some different people in the community kind of leading different things. And I think it's a great opportunity.
I just love the acronym, right? I mean, it is it,
And you always have a goal, right?
Yeah, you always have a goal, and I think, you check yourself a little bit too, right? It's like, oh, you need to get out and live. That's right, you do need to take a little bit of time and do that, So it's very fitting for this organization and for this community. So, love it.
So if someone's out there listening, they're on the fence, hey, next year I've already been told that the marathon next year live is going to be something that we can't even imagine. Fighter jets, hot air balloons are two words I've heard.
Yeah.
I'm just relaying them. But if someone's out
anyway.
there sitting there thinking on the fence, why would you encourage them to come run the Ogden Marathon in 2022?
Oh.
It's the energy, right? The feeling you have when you're at that finish line, right? Surrounded by all those people. I haven't crossed that finish line. Maybe next year will be my first year.
Yeah.
You heard it.
But it's the people along the whole course. I don't care if you're running the 5K, the relay, it doesn't matter. The people that are standing outside of their homes, the crazy energy that you get from the aid stations. I mean, it keeps you running. I mean, I was not prepared to run my first half when I did, but I did, just because I kind of wanted to get to the next aid station. I kind of wanted to see what they had, and and you're seeing familiar faces, but everybody's cheering. So to be in that kind of environment, I mean, I haven't run a race that brings that much energy through the whole thing. It's not just the start and the finish, it's throughout the whole thing, people are constantly cheering. I think it's spectacular that way.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I love being at the finish line and watching that sense of accomplishment when people cross the finish line, right?
Emotional.
It's huge, right? You
Yeah.
feel that, and I mean, that's moving.
Yeah.
That's
And
awesome.
I tell people all the time, if you want to get inspired, if you're in a funk, if you're whatever, hit a finish line of a race, because it doesn't matter if it's the first person or the last person. Every runner athlete has a story. You don't know what it took for them to get to the finish line, but when you look at their face, you can tell it was something pretty special.
And they did.
Yeah, it was earned.
Yeah, absolutely. You earn every step of that too. So, well, I really appreciate you guys taking your time to sit down with us. And as a Goal board member and a person of the community, thank you both for what you bring to this amazing community. Because whether you like it or not, Daily Rise and the Furtons is synonymous with what this town's all about. So, and we just appreciate all your work with the Goal Foundation, just to support everything as we go, and just for everything you've done.
Oh, well, thank you. This is fun to sit down.
Yeah,
All right.
thanks, Eric.
All right,
Appreciate it.
no problem. Well, we'll see you next year at the start line.
And the finish.
Right, yeah, hopefully, and the finish.
Yeah.
Right, there we go.
Yeah, there we go. Awesome. All right, well, thanks both for
Thank
jumping
you.
on. Thanks.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye.